Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello and welcome to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay and choo-choo.
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, for joining us so much. All aboard the murder train, you bunch of turkeys. You'll get that if you listen to the Wednesday episode.
Turkeys?
Yeah, turkeys, man. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a wild episode in front of us today. And before we get to that, very quickly, shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets to live shows.
Yeah.
They're everywhere, but most of them are sold out. Chicago is not. August 12th, get your tickets. Still some tickets left. It's our biggest show ever. Most people join the biggest small town murder party that we've ever had, that's ever existed. Right. It's going to be so much fun. August 12th. And then there is tickets left for Dallas, Charlotte, Atlanta, Philly, a couple tickets left, but just about sold out there as well, like everywhere else. So thank you for doing that. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports is where you get all the bonus materials. Anybody, a cup of coffee, $5 a month or above, you get access to all the bonus stuff. Right. There's a couple hundred episodes of bonus stuff to binge and new ones every other week. They keep piling up. They're wonderful. And for this week, what you're going to get is for Crime and Sports, which you have access to, of course. Yeah. We're going to talk about part 2 of theme park disasters. Wow, those were crazy. And now we're in the modern times, so we're going to start to see like wild roller coaster accidents and stuff like that. It's crazy. Then
Yeah,
for
now they want to go faster and faster.
Yeah. Then for small town murder, we're going to talk about something that's been very much requested, the Stanford prison experiment, which was early 70s, the university there in Stanford. They took some students in a psychology experiment and said, half of you are guards and half of you are prisoners. Let's see how that works out. And wow, did it have some crazy results. And the way they administered, it was weird. So we'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of that stuff. And of course, listen to Crime and Sports if you're not listening to Crime and Sports. Give it a shot. Don't have to like sports. There's a lot of stupidity and crime and mainly just a lot of jokes from us. So if you like our humor, that's a good place to get it. And you also want to listen to Your Stupid Opinions, which is coming out finally soon here. Finally gave us the clearance to do this, and we're very happy and excited. So we can't wait. That said, I think it's time to get into the story before we get too far gone here. So I think it's time for everyone out there, including us right here, to sit back. Let's all sit back, everyone. Clear the lungs. You want to make it nice and clear. Arms to the sky, and let's all shout, "Shut up and give me murder." Let's do this, Jimmy. What do you say? Let's go on a trip, shall we?
Yeah.
We are going somewhere we don't go very often because there's not a lot of people there and not a lot of murder there, but we found some. No, we are going to Wyoming, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah.
All the way out there. This is Green River, Wyoming. So this week, fucking Creedence Clearwater has gotten a lot of time in our heads because we had Susie Q in the first story on Wednesday or Thursday, and then today we have Green River, which is another Creedence Clearwater song. So
great band.
Green River.
Thanks, John Fogerty.
What happened here was actually Green River's the main town. Then there's a little tiny town on the edge of Green River with like a couple of stores and a little neighborhood called Jamestown. Town, two separate words. And that's where this actually happened. But Green River is the town that Jamestown is within. So we'll talk about that here. So this is in western Wyoming, all the way out west there. It's about 4 hours to Cheyenne. Okay. That across the state driving over there. So if it snows, you're going to get stuck somewhere for 3 months. Like The Shining. And about 2.5 hours to Pavilion, Wyoming, which was our last Wyoming episode, Gerald and Alice, which was a wild one. I remember that. They were interesting couple. This is in Sweetwater County. Population here in this town, 11,887. Oh. So it's a good-sized little town for Wyoming, actually. That's a lot. Because one of the stories I was looking at was in Casper, and that has less than 60,000 people, and it's the second biggest city in the state. So there's not a lot of people here. Median household income here is pretty high, $73,225 in this town. And it's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's nothing around this shit.
How are they doing it?
I don't know. Median home price is low, actually. $243,800. So
not bad.
High income, low cost of living. That's a combination people like usually. So
seems
that
like a
works.
good reason to be in Wyoming.
Yeah, not a lot of places can say that. They have both of those things. So this town of the site of Green River, it was in Dakota Territory at first. Yeah. And originally platted by the Union Pacific Railroad. So this is not, this wasn't natural. This is the railroad came through here.
Everything in Wyoming is that, I think.
That's all it is. 1867 that was. The territory was created in 1868 of Wyoming. And the town was incorporated a month later, but under the laws of the previous territory of Dakota, since they hadn't written laws yet for Wyoming incorporation. Okay. So they had to reincorporate in 1891 under the new laws to make it so they were actually a town. Because for 20 years, they basically argued over whether they were really a town or not. So it's pretty ridiculous. November 16th, 1931, and this is pretty cool, the town of Green River passed the Green River Ordinance, which prohibited door-to-door salesmen.
No
knocking on people's, no fucking soliciting all over the place. I hope that counts for Mormons too.
The welcome sign says no soliciting.
No soliciting. And other towns started adopting this after a while, towns here and there, but they were the first ones to do it that we know of anyway. Yeah. So reviews of this town. Let's find out what people who live there or have been there say about this shit, because we know nothing. What do we know? Okay, 5 stars. Here we go. Green River is a great little city to raise a family in. Lots of activities programs for kids. Lots of high-paying jobs available, and the price of houses isn't too bad. Yeah. All right. The bluffs surrounding the city and the river make it a beautiful place to live. Endless opportunities for someone who likes to recreate outside? recreate.
Recreate
Outside. I'm like,
Yeah.
recreate. Very safe community. Awesome rec center that is ran by the city. Okay, but it's outside. Go outside. Well, it gets cold there, as we'll find out. Here is 3 stars. The crime rate here is relatively low. DUIs are pretty frequent, but police usually do a good job of catching drunk drivers. There's a lot of DUIs. It means they're catching a lot of drunks.
This area of the country. If you're behind the wheel after, I don't know, 10:30 p.m.,
You're shit-faced.
pretty good chances.
You're pretty shit. Especially out there, there's nothing out there.
No.
What are you going to hit? A buffalo? Like,
That's
literally
it.
outside of a bison, there's nothing to hit. There just isn't.
Guardrail, buffalo, mountain. That's it.
All. You're pretty much on your own.
Yeah.
So 2 stars here. This is good. The town of Green River is not full of excitement and encouragement. A large number of soon-to-be adults will spend their entire life in this town and not attempt to go anywhere else.
Oh, my God.
That's grim. Jesus, Karen.
Calm down.
Did Grim Karen write that? I don't see a name on the review. It's unfortunate.
Is that the high school commencement speech?
Fuck, man. Yeah, all the kids leave slowly out of their chairs. Just leave their hats on the ground.
Rest of your miserable fucking lives
in this shitty dump of a fucking town. Like, Jesus, calm down. Things to do here. All right. The River Festival. It's on a river, so let's have a river goddamn festival here. Let's do it. The River Festival starts off at 4 p.m. on the 3rd Friday of August. So it's really,
Okay.
Gotta really write that down.
Open-ended.
Music, beer vendors, shrimp boil, food trucks, and once it gets dark, fireworks in all capital letters. Did someone say shrimp? Yes, I did. That's what this says, by the way.
Gross.
Our Cajun shrimp boil is a fan favorite. What about shrimp or Cajun, says Wyoming. Neither of those things make me think of Wyoming.
One of the furthest states from an ocean.
I would say get me a steak up there, right?
How are you getting shrimp that's fresh?
What the fuck? And then making it Cajun style?
Right.
Okay. You will have the option to purchase a 5 o'clock dinner ticket or a 6 o'clock dinner ticket. Prices are $20 for canoe, approximately, 5 pounds of shrimp, plus tomato or potatoes, corn, sausage, and soda or water. $30 for the boat. Oh, that's a half pound of shrimp because then the boat is a pound of shrimp plus all those things. $55 for our 2 boat, which is our date night special, it says.
Get yourself a double boat.
Oh, we will also be selling tickets for a spaghetti dinner served by the Knights of Columbus as a fundraiser.
Of course.
If you want to go down there, that sounds really great here.
Head on down to the high ties for some spaghetti.
There's we got like 4 Catholics, so, they know how to do that. It's all right. The fun begins here Saturday morning with our Run with the Horses Marathon.
Oh, boy.
It's a trail marathon, and you pass wild horses as you run. And it says many runners get beautiful photos with wild horses up close.
That's scary.
Jesus, they're going to kick you.
They bite, too.
Oh, yeah, they bite. There's a duck race, a river festival car and bike show. Holy shit. Then it says, cast your votes for your favorite fish during the Flaunt Your Fish competition.
Get out here and flaunt it.
Local people and businesses compete for the best decorated fish in town, not the biggest fish caught. You get a fish and you, dress it up like a lady. I don't know what you do with it.
You fajazzle it.
You fajazzle the fish. Then there is the totally separate event. This is not even in Green River. It's actually in a place called Pinedale, but it's called the Green River Rendezvous. So I had to look it up, and I laughed my ass off because it says it's guaranteed fun for the whole family as you relive the original Green River Rendezvous of the 1800s with a live historical reenactment that's been in a Pinedale tradition since 1936. Our rodeo grounds come alive with bearded buckskin trappers and mountain men of long ago as they gallop, holler, fight, boast, and trade and barter goods. You won't want to miss this rowdy event that takes place against the backdrop of the beautiful Wind River Mountains. Holy shit.
You got to wrestle before you exchange furs for goods?
It's like a show, I guess. It's a show. You watch these guys pretend.
It's like
I don't know.
Medieval times for trappers.
That's what it sounds like, right? Yeah. Like some kind of, like a show. Like you're going to see, remember Rawhide would do the gunfight in the street? Like one of those. In Arizona back in the day? I feel like it's like that.
This section roots for the raccoon trapper.
You got all different ones with their different hats on. I'm rooting for the goddamn tall guy. Look at him. He just punched that coon skin right off his head.
I'm rooting for the gold panner.
Oh, man. Come on, prospector. Let's talk about a murder, shall we, Jimmy?
Let's do it.
And as a special surprise for everyone, we have a Small Town Murder Piece Theater 3000
wonderful
reading for you today that we're going to go over. That is wonderful. Okay, let's go back to 2002, everybody, shall we? Not
so
too far
recent.
back.
Yeah.
It's for 20 years. We have phones, we have texting, but there's barely a camera and there's no social media. Very easy. Okay, let's talk about a guy here, Robert Leroy Seiler. Okay, Robert Leroy Seiler. Now, in 2002, he's been friends with a guy named Craig Cunningham since about 1999. They've been buddies. You know, they met somewhere drinking beer, as we'll talk about. They both love to drink beer, so that's how that goes.
Yeah.
Been good friends with them since 99. Now, Cunningham is just a raging alcoholic during this time, of his own admission. Just an absolute raving alcoholic. He's such a raving alcoholic, he has 13 prior convictions in Utah for driving while under the influence. Not arrests, convictions. 13 of them.
How many times did he get away?
Dude, think about that. 13? We know a guy who's been to prison twice, and he doesn't have 13.
He's got 7, right?
7, I think. Lucky 7. But 13? Holy shit.
This guy's never driven sober.
He just drives.
There's no way he's driven sober.
Yep, he did prison time for it, like in the 90s, before people did a lot of prison time
Before
for
they
DUIs.
took it serious, yeah.
He said that he's just a heavy drinker. And he said also, his friend here, Robert, he's also a heavy drinker, and he has a, quote, bad drinking problem. They both do. That's why they hang out together, because they drink like animals. And by the way, this story we almost did a different story. I have another story completely done. We'll have to do it as a bonus or something. Okay. But it was another Wyoming story where these men were drinking all day long, and they were drinking vodka. Then, I guess, drinking it wasn't good enough, so they began, I shit you not, in this other story, not this one, to inject vodka into their veins with hypodermic needles. They were shooting up vodka in this story.
Popping vodka.
There wasn't quite enough for a whole episode on it, but that was almost like, I have to just tell people about this.
Yeah.
It says in the court documents, after they all intravenously shot vodka into their veins. I'm like, holy shit.
Skin popping Popov.
Wow, that is horrible fucking shit. So these two are alcoholics. Let's put a woman into the mix, shall we?
Okay.
Let's throw a lady into here. Cheryl Ann Watson Ward is her name.
Okay. Yeah.
Cheryl Ann Watson, and then she's recently been married again to somebody else here. She's been married a couple of times. She has 4 daughters.
Oh.
And she's married, but not with her husband at this point in time.
Okay. Yeah.
So in 2002, she's 41 years old.
Yep.
4 kids, 4 daughters, married, but the husband lives in Utah. They've been separated at least for a while here. She's married to a guy named Arlen Ward, but they've been for 6 years, but they've been split apart. Cheryl is also a member of the Eagles Fraternal Order number 2350. I don't know what the fuck that is, a social club of some kind?
There's an Eagles? I know
Eagles Fraternal Order.
The Elks.
She likes the outdoors a lot, by the way, it says here. She's always outdoors. She likes to horseback ride and shit like that, which I think a lot of people in Wyoming probably enjoy those activities.
Probably 100% of them.
If you don't love doing shit like that, you probably shouldn't live in Wyoming. You know, you should probably go somewhere else where you could be inside better.
Yeah. Every day.
Every damn day. Weak internet signal. It's tough there. So June of 2002 now, or up until for about a year and a half now, Robert and Cheryl have been in a relationship together. Yeah. If you can call it that. It's on and off, tumultuous. They fight. The cops come. She moves out. She's back in 2 days. They're fighting again. They're the type of couple, from everything I can gather, they're the type of couple that get in an argument. He hits her. One of the neighbors calls the cops. The cops come over. Then both of them fight with the cop. That's the kind of couple we're talking about here.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what's going on with these two.
That's fun.
It's terrible, though, because nothing ever gets accomplished, and they keep acting out violence upon each other. That's the issue.
And a neighbor has to deal with this bullshit once a week.
They have to go, Jesus, they're at it again. We got to call the cops. So this is an on and off tumultuous relationship. Like we said, there's we'll talk about that. There's a court battle that's about to happen where he's been arrested multiple times on battery charges involving Cheryl. And he's got a trial coming up, and he's all pissed off about that. And she doesn't want to participate in the trial either because they're back together. So the whole thing's a mess. By June of 2002, oh my God, she had moved out of Robert's house. Yeah. Okay. But they're still seeing each other on and off, but she moved out of the house. At this point, she starts seeing Craig Cunningham as well.
Oh.
Robert's friend Craig. She starts seeing him too. Cheryl does. So,
okay.
Now, Craig is good friends with Robert. He knows that Cheryl and Robert have had a relationship, and he knows what's going on. He's been around. He sees everything. So he said, still though, he couldn't help it. Gets in a relationship with her in about June of 2002, a sexual relationship, obviously. They're not just like hanging out doing a book club.
Yeah.
They're, what did you think of Little Women? Well, let me tell you. So Cunningham said on and off it continued until finally August 13th, 2002, Cheryl moves back in with Robert. Leaves Craig, moves in with Robert, and she's got at least one kid that I know of, if not more, that lives with her, that goes with her everywhere she goes here too. So I know from being a kid that got moved around a lot, that is a horribly hectic and stressful situation. So feel for that kid right away. So August 13th, 2002, Cheryl moves back in with Robert. This is the next week is the trial for the battery of this, and he's been convicted on battery charges involving her twice before. Twice. This is the third trial he's going to go through.
Is there no law that the cops can enforce of we don't want to be here again? You can't be together. If I see you together, I'm arresting both of you.
There should be a restraining order that one person can get on another, and then there should be a restraining order that society can put on your couple.
Yes.
As a couple.
To save the cops time.
And all of us, tax money. You're not allowed to be together.
Right.
And
they could be somewhere else.
Yeah, because someday someone's going to kill someone, and then we got to deal with that too.
Right.
So save your family, the taxpayers. Let's save everyone a whole lot of trouble. You two together, you both get arrested. Both of you. Done.
Is it thrice battery convictions? That's the thing? Is it three? Is it three?
Do we have to wait that long even? I guess. I don't know. One probably.
Three actual strikes and you're out?
Holy, this is a fucking mess, man. This whole thing, obviously setting the table for this is a disaster, is what it is. So August the 16th, 2002, we have alcoholics that are fucking each other's, significant others and all this. That's a mess. So August 16th, 2002, sometime after 4 p.m., Cunningham, Craig, he goes out. He has his unemployment check in hand here. Yeah. He's got a pocket full of dough he's ready to burn, babe. He goes, cashes his check, and buys a bunch of beer, as one does when you're unemployed and your only money is coming from unemployment.
Perfect use of those funds.
Spend it on beer. That'll get you a job.
I think they should only be used for beer, to be honest.
Only allowed to be used for not rent or anything else, just beer. So Cunningham sees Robert Leroy Seiler at a local bar along the way. Yeah. And so, just sees him there. Cunningham goes back to his house about 8:30. He stopped at the bar because he went out to buy beer, but he had to drink at a bar before he went and bought beer. He had to pregame at a bar. So then he gets home about 8:30 p.m., Cunningham does, and he drank a few more beers. And then at about somewhere between 9:30 and 10:30, when you've had this many beers, the times get a little wishy-washy. Sometime around that time, Robert Seiler shows up at Cunningham's house. Mm-hmm. And they just hung out at a bar for a couple hours, by the way, talking, and everything's fine. Seiler now shows up, knocks on the door. Cunningham comes outside, and now Robert wants to confront Craig about what's going on with Cheryl.
Now we want to talk
now
about
it's on. Now I guess he's had a couple more beers.
Yeah. Now we're both thinking more clearly.
Yes, now that we're both on the level, now that we've both had enough to stop the shakes, let's talk about this. DTs are,
We got enough blood or booze in our blood to make each other bleeders.
It's good stuff. So he's going to confront Craig about his relationship with Cheryl. Mm-hmm. He says, "Are you having you fucking my woman? Are you fucking Cheryl?" And Craig says, "Yes, I am." He admits it. He says he admits that they've been having sex, and it's true.
More pounds, I should tell you.
Then they argue back and forth for a while, yelling, and people hear them. They're arguing, both of them expressing their love for Cheryl. Well, I love her. Well, I love her too, damn it. Well, shit, doesn't matter. You hit her. That's why you don't love her. I'll take her now. Yeah, but I found her first. They're going back and forth arguing. She's not even here for this. They're going to decide on their own what she wants. So they're both doing this. A neighbor overheard this entire thing. Said somewhere around 9:30, 9:15, they're arguing. They said that Robert Seiler seemed very angry and was yelling. But at some point, you can only argue for so long.
Yeah.
So
eventually you got to calm down.
At some point, they calmed down and the yelling became normal talking back and forth. Okay. At some point now, during all this, it's still contentious, but they're not screaming at each other anymore. You get tired, you know?
Yeah.
At some point during this, Robert pulls out a bone-handled knife with a 6-inch blade.
Oh, my.
This is a serious knife, okay? He takes the knife, walks by Cunningham. Cunningham's like, uh-oh, this isn't good. And obviously this seems like we're going to have our murder right now. But instead, Robert places the knife in the back of his pickup truck and instead comes back from around the back of the truck with 2 beers and hands one to Cunningham. So
I was going to knife your ass,
I was
but
gonna
now
kill
I
you.
have a beer with you.
Fuck it. Let's commiserate instead. We have a similar problem.
Yeah.
You know? So
don't you hate when she drags her teeth?
I mean, it's
me too.
So that's what they do. They sit there, they calm down, and they just sit and have a beer like fucking cool as cucumbers outside. No problem. Just
you heard her
what you
eat
doing
Lucky
that?
Charms? The slurping. I can't get over
it's the slurping. It's don't use that much milk if you ain't going to use it. Just quit slurping it all up. Jesus Christ almighty. Fucking hey. So Cunningham says that at this point, Robert said, "You know what we're going to do right now? I got an idea. We're brothers, right? Yeah, we are. Fuck it. We're brothers right now. You know, I mean, blood, Eskimo, however you want to put it, but we're brothers. We're Bud Light brothers. What we're going to do right here now is we're going to go over to that bitch's house and we're going to confront her. That you've been fucking both of us, and we're not happy about it.
We're tired of this.
We're tired of this shit." So this is kind of funny because normally this is what 2 women would do. They team up and then they end up going yelling at the guy to get like we've seen that and heard of that. They make movies that have that in it all the time. You rarely see the 2 guys go, "Let's go tell that bitch." The guys will fight with each other. Whereas, you know, these 2 are like, "Nah, she's wronged us both. Let's go talk to her." Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So they go there to her house. When Robert enters they enter the house. I don't know if he has a key or what, but they just come in. She's in the bathroom fixing her hair at this point in time. Okay, it's late. She's about to go out to the bar. It's like 11 o'clock. She's going to the bar.
Sure.
She's fixing her hair. Robert goes into the bathroom to talk to her. Cunningham stays in the living room. She doesn't have any idea Cunningham's in the living room, okay? So Robert tells her, I found out you've been fucking Craig. You fucking Craig? Yeah, you are. I know it. She denied it.
Oh.
She said, I haven't been fucking Craig. I don't know what you're talking about. He said, bullshit. He's in the fucking living room. I'll go get him right now, and he'll tell you he's been fucking you because we've been talking about it. So they got together. He then brings in the mystery witness here.
Oh, entrapment.
The secret witness. And he said, yep, that's how it works there. It's, there you go. You don't believe, he said, you don't believe me. That the way he said it was hilarious. You don't believe me, ask him, ask Craig, and then brought Craig in. And she was oh, shit.
We've been comparing breath. They smell the same.
They smell the same. And it's you. That's the common denominator. So at this point, this is all happening here. At this point now, Robert and Cheryl proceed to argue for about 5 more minutes until Robert says, no more. I'm done arguing, and as a matter of fact, I'm through with you. I'm done. It's over with. We're through. I'm through. I've had enough. How many throughs have they had, by the way, you think, these things? I'm through. Goodbye. Yeah. I'm taking my friend Craig, and we're leaving now.
Yeah.
So now he and Craig, Robert and Craig, leave her house between 10 and 11 p.m.
Wow.
And Robert drives Cunningham to a local bar where they had a couple of few drinks, according to everybody there. Then Robert drove Cunningham to the Rage Bar, which seems an appropriate place for these two to end up. A bar called Rage.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a straight bar, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Robert's like, we're going to Rage, damn it. I'm angry. And he gets there. He's like, everybody here seems real happy. This isn't what I expected.
A lot more smiles than I expected.
A little lighter in the loafers than I thought for all this rage. So about an hour later, they left Rage because apparently Robert had his head down on the bar.
Yeah.
As drunks do.
When
they've had enough. And the bartender told Cunningham, get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You can't be sleeping on the bar. That's not okay. I mean, buy a drink at least.
I hate that rule, though.
I hate the rule. No sleeping at the bar? No one. That's a bad vibe for everyone.
I do like a good 10-minute nap or so in a fucking bench, like a stool.
I feel like you have to be awake to be here. Isn't a lot to ask people.
Eyes open.
I feel like it's not a lot.
A booth. That's the word. A booth.
Yeah. I'd love to take a nap. Hey, I'm a nap guy. Trust me, I'm into it. But I see their point, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just seems awesome.
Oh, man. So Cunningham nudges Robert and says, let's go, man. Let's go, brother. We're leaving the bar. And he gets up. Robert's able to walk out to the bar and get to the vehicle under his own power. Now, Craig says that he was in no shape to drive, and neither was Robert. So Craig decided he was slightly less drunk. He was awake anyway. He was conscious at the bar. That's how you decide who drives in Wyoming.
Yeah.
So
who wasn't just thrown out for passing out on the bar?
I guess it's me. Bartender took me as a responsible one, so fuck it.
Bartender told me to get him the fuck out of here.
Exactly. Yeah, you're fine. So Cunningham, he drives Robert's car, And he said that he couldn't start the vehicle. I'm sure it's some shitbox of some kind.
Yeah.
Robert's able to tell him how to properly start it. You got to do this and push that down and give it one pump on the,
on the breathalyzer.
You know how it goes. Oh, don't do that. That won't work. So he drives back to Robert's house there. He said they left the Rage Bar at 12 or 12:30, but he said might have been later. They're not sure. Somewhere in there because, they're both shit-faced. Yeah. They're there an hour. Give me a break. So at Robert's house, Robert says, you can stay the night if you want. I mean, shit, it's late and you've been drinking. So if you want, you can sleep on the couch. I'll take you home in the morning.
You can climb in my tent if you want.
Climb on in with me, big guy. So, no, Robert went in and got him a blanket and a pillow even and gave it to him. So there you go. A little bed wrap for you for the night. So Craig goes to sleep there. Not yet. They first, of course, drink a couple of beers more, obviously, because, they're not drunk enough. So they have a couple more beers, and one went to sleep on the couch, I guess. He went to sleep, Craig did there. Yeah. And Robert fell asleep on another couch, just sitting there after all the beers.
Got his own bed.
He passed out on the couch there. So meanwhile, Cheryl called her friend Joanne Richards, who, by the way, had been drinking since noon that day.
Hell yeah.
This is about midnight. She'd been drinking for a solid 12 hours.
God damn.
Not Cheryl, Joanne, the friend.
Yeah.
And she called several times from Robert's residence when she was there, because she'll go back later on, to see if Richards could pick her up. But Richards couldn't because she'd been drinking since noon.
Right.
So then also Robert must have been awake at 2 a.m. because he called Joanne Richards at 2 a.m., and he asked whether Richards had picked Cheryl up and said that, did you pick Cheryl up? And said, I'm with Craig right now. We've been drinking beer and we're here. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, Richards also said that based on her prior interactions with Robert, he didn't sound as if he was intoxicated on the phone. But then again, she's been drinking for 14 hours. So are we going to, her judgment on anything might be a bit skewed. He seemed more sober than me isn't a lot to go with on this point.
I think everybody probably sounds more sober than a 14-hour drunk.
That's what I mean. They go, wow, everybody sounds so together. Like if you've been drinking,
talking so clear.
Man, everybody's just a scholar over here. Shit, y'all sound like the royal family. This is crazy.
Oh, damn it. I had no idea I was drinking with the Queen of England.
Gee, this is wild. Jeez. Okay there, Duke of Sandwich. Very nice. The Duke of Earl. I really want one of them sandwiches. So anyway, about 2:00 in the morning, in walks Cheryl.
Oh.
Into the residence here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Her daughter, by the way, is asleep here. At least one of her daughters is asleep in this residence.
At Seiler's house?
At Seiler's house. Because, they live there still. Because she moved back in 3 days ago, even though he said he was done with her before. So that's how that goes. Now, she ends up leaving with some acquaintances between 4:30 and 5 a.m. She's still going out at 4:30 in the morning. They're like actively doing shit. That's wild, first of all.
She did her hair at midnight, James.
Yeah. This is a wild style life all these people are living, man. I'm tired listening to it. And they're not 23. All these people are 40. This is ridiculous. Get your shit together. So
maybe I should get my shit together. Maybe you should get your shit together.
That's true. Maybe we're doing it wrong. I don't know. It's a good point, Jimmy. You're right. So these acquaintances tried to drop her off very soon afterwards. She went out for like a half hour at 4. I don't know why the hell she went out, but they tried to drop her off at 2 different residences, but no one was home.
Nobody will take her.
No one will take her in. I don't know. No one was home.
Yeah.
So she said, well, take me to Robert's then, because that's where I live. So that's where all my shit is. Might as well stay there. So there we go. Now, she is dropped off at about between 5 and 5:30 in the morning at the Seiler residence. Now, Craig is awoken at about 5:30 in the morning by Cheryl straddling him, on top of him, straddling him, kissing him.
Oh, God.
That's how he wakes up.
Yeah.
He said he's been drinking quite a bit, but at this point he's more hungover because he's been sleeping for 3.5 hours. So he's just like, what the fuck's going on? He's like stirring. At the same time, Robert wakes up in the couch across the room.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. He wakes up, sees what's happening. He just wakes up to seeing Cheryl Straddle and Cunningham making out, and he says, quote, just what the fuck is going on here? That's exactly how, just what the fuck is going on here? The way this guy talks is awesome for the rest of the episode.
Great question, Rob.
Just what the fuck is going on here? Her response, what would your response be if you were her?
I was waking him up to send him home.
Well, that's a good one, actually. That's not bad. If he's drunk enough, he might fall for it. Her response was, oh, go fuck yourself. Which, you see how this relationship has worked now for years, right? Now it all makes sense.
I can see how this gets into a fight.
This is Ronnie Dobbs. You know, he might as well sing the song. You're brutalizing me. You might as well be singing it right now. It's fucking ridiculous. So
what the fuck's going on here?
What in the fuck's going on here? Oh, go fuck yourself. 5:30 in the morning.
Fantastic. Good morning. That's a Wyoming good morning.
Wow, that's a Wyoming hello, howdy do. So he gets up and starts just walking back and forth in a rampage, just stalking back and forth, pissed off. You son of a bitchin' goddamn bastards doing this bullshit, goddamn it. Then he tells her, get the fuck out. You get out right now. And she says, no, I don't want to. She says she's not leaving.
Yeah.
He says, get the fuck out. For 3 minutes, he berates her to get out of my goddamn house, you no good goddamn boy, you son of a bitch. Get the fuck out right now. I don't want it. You get out right now. You get out right now. No, I ain't leaving. This goes on for 3 minutes.
Wow.
Cunningham, while this is going on, he quietly gets up from the couch. I don't know what happened. He walks over to a chair next to the dining room table and starts putting his boots on. Yeah. He's about ready to get the fuck out of here now.
Fuck out of here.
While this is happening, Robert and Cheryl continue to fight and argue. Yeah. Mm-hmm. At some point, they stopped arguing, I guess, or continued to argue, but she ended up grabbing a chair also and sitting in a separate chair at the dining room table with Cunningham. Okay. Now, at that, somewhere around the time she sat down, Robert ran outside for a minute. Then he burst back in the door, okay? Ran outside to his truck and burst back in. What is he grabbing in his truck? He's grabbing the bone-handled 6-inch blade is what he's grabbing right now. God. He walks back in, and without saying a fucking word, in a not normal, just calm walk, like normal shit, walks in straight towards Cheryl. He had the knife on his side, and he showed Cheryl the knife. And he says, I'm going to do it. And she says, no, you won't. And I said, watch. That's what he said later on. He said, I'm going to stab you. And she said, no, you're not. Go fuck yourself. And he said, you watch. And this went back and forth 5 times. You won't do it. Yeah, I'm going to stab you. No, you won't. You ain't going to stab shit. Yes, I will. I'm going to stab. No, you're not. And then he finally, quote, reached over with his left hand, grabbed her, bent her back a little bit in the chair, and stabbed her overhand, quote, right square in the chest.
Oh, God.
Grabbed her by the hair, pulled her back, and plunged this fucking knife into her chest. Okay. Cunningham said, what the fuck did you just do?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Like,
dude. I'm still too drunk for this.
This is crazy. And he responded, Robert did, quote, I just killed this fucking bitch, and if you don't believe me, check her pulse.
Okay.
He likes to prove things.
He does. Proof matters.
Proof. I'll show you proof right now, though. If you don't believe me, ask him. If you don't believe me, check her pulse. This is his second don't believe me of the night that he's done here. He then rinsed some of the blood off. Not all of it, just a little rinsing of the blood.
Yeah,
and
just keep it from staining.
Just threw the knife in the kitchen sink. Rinsed it off a little, threw it in the kitchen sink. Then he went over and made sure she was dead. Didn't just check her pulse, made sure she was dead. Then he told Cunningham, turned to him and said, quote, you're the one that caused it because you've been having an affair with her.
Oh, it's my fault.
That's right. And the Cunningham said, well, what the fuck? He goes, are you going to kill me too? What's going on? And he said, no, I'm not going to kill you because I want you to see just what the fuck you've done to my life.
Oh, my God.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I mean, so
Okay,
far I've
sounds
done nothing
good.
illegal, so.
Peace. Yeah, I'm giving him the old salute going, all right, well, yeah, I'll keep an eye on that then. Goodbye. I'm going to watch what happens to your life. Goodbye. See ya. So then he said, Cunningham, then Robert said, you want to ride home? He then offers him a ride home. He's really hot and cold, this Robert. And Cunningham said, quote, I'm out of here, and just took off.
I'll walk it. I got it.
I'm leaving, man. This is crazy.
Got to get my steps in.
Shit, I didn't have a lot of exercise yesterday. I really didn't. I looked at my phone. I said, wow, I thought I walked more than that. And I said, I'm going to walk me a little bit. So then Robert is left alone with Cheryl's dead body here.
And a kid.
And a kid. By the way, at some point in the night, the kid had come out and woke Robert up for some reason, and they had talked, and then the kid went to bed. So the kid is just sleeping through all this. So he then takes her and drags her outside, leaving obvious drag marks and blood trails and everything like that, and carries her to his pickup truck, but he couldn't lift her into the pickup. He couldn't.
Drunk guy.
He couldn't get her up there. Then he heard sirens because Cunningham had left and gone to a neighbor's house and called 911.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's not a complete and utter lunatic. So he called 911. That's at 5:55. The 911 call came in. And now Robert said he heard cop cars coming. So he, quote, just walked off. Not even in his truck. Just left. Just walked away.
Just drop the body and walk on.
Took off, man. Police arrive. Officer Jason Love gets there and pops out and immediately discovers Cheryl's body in between two vehicles in the driveway. He observed drag marks from the house, through the house. I mean, doesn't take a genius. Doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to figure out what happened here.
There's a smattering of blood, I imagine.
No shit. When he got there, Cheryl is still alive.
Really?
They rush her to the hospital, but she's pronounced dead at the hospital a little while later. So she made it about 6:48. She made it till
almost an hour of this
before she finally died at the hospital.
Dear
But
God.
yeah, and maybe if they got help a little earlier, who knows? So the officer spoke with Cunningham at 6:12 or 6:30 with Craig, and he said he didn't see any signs that Craig was intoxicated at that time either. Now, 6:10 or 6:15 a.m., Robert calls his friend Mark Lackerment and said, can you give me a ride? I could really use a ride. Lackerment said he found him about 6:45 or 6:50, at which time Robert told him, quote, might be going down this time. Is what he told him. Might be going down this. I've been in trouble before, but this time's for real. And he said that he believed that Cheryl had been stabbed or killed. That's what he said. She stabbed or killed or something. They're like, okay. So they go back to this guy's house, and according to this Mark Lackerment guy, Robert didn't show any signs of intoxication at the time. Oh. And now Joanne Richards also received a telephone call from him at about 7 a.m. Cheryl's friend.
Right. Robert
calls from Lackerman's house, and she gets the call. Then he called her back again at between 7:30 and 7:45. And Richard, he said, I killed Cheryl. Yeah, that's what he called to tell her. And so she said in the second call, how did you kill her? And he said, I stabbed her in the heart.
Oh, boy.
So then he called his father about 9 a.m. and said that I killed that Cheryl girl. Remember her? Yeah, well, she is dead now, and I killed her, stabbed her in the heart.
Yeah.
Then cops get there. They somehow figure out that he's at Lackerman's house. Mm-hmm. They get there. They find him hiding under a car in the garage. Never find me here. And they arrest him.
Yeah.
They said they smelled alcohol. He stated he'd been drinking the previous evening, and they observed dried blood all over his hands as well. They found the knife with the blood on it in his kitchen sink. And, obviously this is pretty kind of cut and dry here. Yeah. Pretty open and closed here. Now at the station, his hands are bagged. They put paper bags over his hands there at the station like they do to preserve the evidence at the time of the interview here. And he initialed his Miranda rights form at 10:40, and after he'd been read them, there's a handwritten notation on the form which was initialed by him that states he was informed of his rights prior to giving the statement, but signed the form after the paper bags were removed from his hands. It's a special legal thing here. So at 7:50 in the morning, his blood alcohol level was. Now, think about this. They stopped drinking around 2-something.
Right. He took a nap.
0.15 and 0.20. That's at 7:50 in the morning.
Impressive.
Yeah, which is or 9:50 would have to be because he came. That's when they got him. Yeah, 9:50. So that's a lot. That's way later. Yeah. That's a lot. So he was not questioned right away because the chief thought he might be too intoxicated. So
Good move.
At the time of questioning, slight odor of alcohol was detected. The chief said that he answered questions intelligently and his speech was not slurred. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah. They're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it, and get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Calling all dog owners. Your furry friend deserves top-notch nourishment, and Ollie delivers the clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs in 5 flavors they'll absolutely flip over. Ollie is made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world, with absolutely no harmful fillers or preservatives. With protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might start thinking, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Give your pup a fresh start this new year by letting them taste test a personalized meal plan with Ollie. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie.
He did not appear to be intoxicated there. He didn't stagger, stumble, or fall. He didn't walk with assistance. He walked without assistance. And that was because later on when they questioned him, they said that they wouldn't have questioned him if he had been significantly intoxicated.
Right.
The guy who interviewed him, Detective John Elliott, said, the tone of the interview is perhaps reflected best by this, quote, "Okay, Robert, would you like to tell me your side of the story? What happened?" It is apparent from the transcript of this interview here that he was responsive and gave coherent, detailed answers. I don't know if coherent's the right word, but they're detailed. And that said, I think it's time for me and you to dip into a little small-town murder piece 3000.
Fantastic.
It's a short little thing. It's only up to 2 pages. It's very short, but I would like you to interrogate me, Jimmie.
Oh, terrific.
You're going to be Detective John Elliott, which sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we will start right at the top. And
Okay.
you have it ready?
I think
right
so,
here.
yeah.
Okay, you're good.
It looks
you got
like
yours.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you had your. I saw you had paper in your hand, but I'm like,
Here
is
it
it
is.
in the right order? Okay. You start. Detective Elliott.
So the argument was still in full bloom and going strong.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
He cut him off.
So then what happened?
I don't know if I dare to say.
Okay. What the guy with you do?
He says, well, no, I ain't. I ain't gonna.
Okay, so do you want to end this conversation or?
Yeah, until I talk to an attorney.
Okay.
I mean, if they want to give me one. If not, I don't give a shit.
All right. It's up to you if you want to talk to us, but if you want to talk to an attorney, we need to conclude this conversation right now. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to try and bail out of this. I'm guilty. I know it.
Okay. But do you want to stop the conversation now? Is that what is what I'm asking? Because I can't ask you any questions. Okay. What do you want to do?
Well, in fact, I'll tell you. Piss on it. I don't give a shit. I got nothing to lose.
See, you don't want an attorney at this time?
Nah, piss on it.
And have you been drinking all night?
Nope.
Okay. Had you been sleeping any prior to this happening?
In fact, yeah, I have. I slept about 2 hours.
Okay. Were you at the time intoxicated? Did you feel like you were intoxicated? Had you been drinking that much?
No. So there he goes. That's the ridiculousness. By the way, piss on it.
Piss on it.
That is the most redneck way to throw something away. Just be like, I'll piss on it. Never mind. Fuck it. But you say that with like, oh, damn it, I forgot that other 6-pack, and now I'll piss on it. They got beer at the party. Never mind. It's all right. That's piss on it.
Yeah. Your life?
Do you want to go ahead and confess to murder? I'll piss on it. Might as well throw my whole life away. Fuck it. That's not the appropriate.
It's not piss on it.
Not the appropriate setting for piss on it, I would say, at that point. That is amazing. I'll piss on it. Multiple piss on it. I don't give a shit. That is fucking amazing. So he goes on to say that, yes, the night did start out with him wanting to fuck up Cunningham's shit, but he said, quote, we ended up talking and becoming friends until Cheryl showed up, then shit happened.
It's a damn good guy right there. She's the bitch.
She's the bitch.
She did this.
That's what he said. He said she started hugging and kissing on Cunningham, is his words, and that he repeatedly told her to leave, but she wouldn't leave. He said, I told her over and over again to leave, and she wouldn't leave. And they said, well, you know, what did you warn her? He said, yeah, I said I was going to stab you and don't fuck with me. He said, quote, I said I was going to stab her and don't fuck with me. I says, you're fucking with the wrong person.
She kept fucking.
She kept fucking with the wrong. That's what he keeps saying. He's like, and she kept doing it. They said, did you stab her out of a fit of anger, or did you know the circumstances that you'd be in because of it? And he said, no, I knew it was going to happen. So,
Dude, you're fucking
just
ruining
gave you an
this.
out. Just gave you a manslaughter charge. Fit of anger.
Was this a crime of passion, sir?
Did you wake up, freak out, not before you knew it, you were plunging a knife into her? Or, no, I planned it, really. I brought the knife. It took a minute. I had to think about it, and I decided I'll kill her, then go to prison probably. That's what I did.
You didn't did you contemplate what you're going to do when you went out and got the weapon out of a truck and then came back premeditatedly thinking about what you would be doing?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's right.
Just walking them into it.
That's about right. Yeah. Hold on. Let me read the first-degree murder statute to you. Did you knowingly, willingly, wantonly, blah, blah. Yep, that's about right. Just what they said right there. Perfect. And then they even say, now, did Cunningham participate with you? And he said, no, he didn't do shit. He just sat there. Just nothing. So he didn't try to pin anything on him. He just,
No.
That's it.
I'll take the rap.
Autopsy reveals the cause of death is obviously a stab wound to the chest.
Yeah.
Forensic pathologists estimated that she died, that she could have died within 2 to 5 minutes of the stab wound, but they kept her alive at the hospital. They resuscitated her and kept her going. The wound path proceeded front to back and slightly downward, and the weapon used to inflict the wound perforated the right ventricle and right atrium of the victim's heart. She was fucked. There was no way to fix that.
Right into the heart. Jesus.
Perforated her pulmonary artery and cut her coronary artery in half. There's no way she would have survived that. She should have been dead in 5 minutes. That's wild. According to the forensic pathologist, a significant amount of force was required to inflict a wound of this nature, obviously, to get through a person's breastbone and everything else. Her blood alcohol level was 0.284.
Incredible.
These people are professionals. And she was, walking around, talking shit, doing things like...
She didn't feel it.
These people are really all drunks. That's what it is. DNA testing, and not to fucking bash a victim or whatever, but she's shit-faced. That's just a fact. Yeah. DNA testing, that doesn't mean she deserved to die, but whatever. No. They confirmed that the dried blood on his right hand and the blood on the knife retrieved from the sink and the blood at the residence are all Cheryl's blood, obviously. Robert's charged with first-degree murder. Wow. Now, his lawyer says he was too drunk to confess.
Okay.
Obviously. They said that's ridiculous. She said that the cops smelled a strong odor, and the victim's daughter testified that she woke him up at 5 o'clock in the morning, which is right before Cheryl came back.
She woke up, yeah.
And she smelled a strong odor of alcohol and said that Robert was, quote, passed out. Yeah. The daughter woke him up and said, "Where's Mom?" And he said that she was sleeping, even though she wasn't even home at the time. He just woke up and said, "She's sleeping," and then the kid went back to sleep. So the officer also talks about that he and another officer arrested him and handcuffed him, put hands behind his back, and he walked 150 to 200 feet to a patrol vehicle. They detected a slight odor of alcohol, which I feel like he always smells like alcohol, but said he walked without difficulty and did not stumble or stagger. He made a few statements on the way to the detention center, and they said he was logical. He didn't slur his speech. They said that they asked him for basic information: height, weight, address, phone number, birthday, social security, occupation, his father's address, phone number, and he provided everything without confusion, without hesitation, knew all that stuff.
Can handle this, right? He's
a fucking alcoholic. Right. Just because his blood alcohol level's high doesn't mean he's drunk. And for
his
him,
baseline is probably 0.12 for Christ's sake.
That's after like 3 days of detox.
Yeah, that's just walking around. That's his church day.
So they said he didn't no balance deficiencies, nothing like that. They said they performed a pat down on him, and they asked him screening questions. No signs of any kind that he was under the influence.
Right.
They said he seemed fine to us. They started interviewing him in the squad room, and they said that by that time they had spoken to neighbors and such who said that he'd been drinking. They'd saw him drinking some the previous evening.
Sure.
The detective said he examined his eyes, listened to his speech, and observed him walk, and said he concluded that he was not intoxicated, and so he could go ahead and interview him. Mm-hmm. Now, picking a jury, this is fucking wild. This is fucking funny. So, picking a jury, they say, this is a quote from the prosecutor, or from the defense attorney, I'm sorry. Okay, so consequently, when you look at the case from an overall perspective, understanding that in this case, we're not denying that our client actually killed the victim at all. Yeah, we're not denying that at all. But in this particular case, the defense really revolves around what degree of guilt it is in this particular case, based upon the amount of alcohol use that my client had that particular night. That's our case. So the juror says, quote, oh, no, this is the lawyer again. So based upon that, as you sit here now, you know that he's not guilty. He's presumed to be innocent. And as we sit here now, he's not guilty. So consequently, when you sit here, can you put that aside and judge this case fairly and impartially? Okay. So, and then he says, first off, could I see a raise of hands from the prospective jurors as we sit here today before taking any evidence in? How many people think that Robert's guilty as he sits here today? How many people think he's innocent? So a prospective juror then fucking talks to Robert, actually,
Oh?
and says, your attorney there, the guy in the pencil tie, said this morning that there's no doubt that your client killed a woman. I didn't get that out of a newspaper or hear it on the radio. I heard it from him.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know shit beforehand. I had no knowledge. You're the dipshit that told us he's guilty, not the TV or whatever. So his counsel says, you will not hear from the defense that he did not stab the victim. What you'll hear is there's varying degrees when taking a human life. So he says, the lawyer says, so I guess my point is, as we sit here today, no evidence has been put on as to the elements of first-degree homicide, which are more than just stabbing someone. So based on that, wouldn't it be a fact, does anybody disagree, that he's innocent until they prove him guilty? Great. Opening statement. He says this, defense counsel, no, I'm not going to stand up at this point or any point in the trial, nor will my co-counsel, and look each of you in the eye and tell you that Robert did not stab Cheryl. Not going to tell you that his actions did not take the life of another human being. The evidence is overwhelming that his actions did take a life. He took a hunting knife and stabbed Cheryl. Yeah. There was a witness to the stabbing.
Yeah.
He's not good at being a defense lawyer. And then Robert fled, and then he confessed to the police that, yes, he did stab Cheryl. The reason we're not here to decide if he's guilty of the stabbing, he did stab her, by the way.
Yeah.
He just wants to, by the way, when you think of stabbing, you think of Robert. He's Mr. Stabby Pants, Miss USA here. He said, the reason we're here is that the state and prosecutor have charged the appellant with first-degree homicide. He's saying it's not first-degree homicide. In his closing argument, he said, quote, it's important to note at the outset that in my opening statement, I told you that I would not stand up and look each and every one of you in the eye, and I was not going to tell you that he did not stab her. So right at the outset, we told you what this case was about, the heat of passion. That's what it's about. It's what's our story's about, our movie. He says our movie. It's what our story is about, our movie. We're no fluff. We're talking about a love triangle.
Oh.
Are you pitching a script or what are you doing here? We're talking about a limited amount of durational time here. When you apply the facts of our movie, of the manslaughter case with the law, you come out with one conclusion, and that's that Robert is guilty, yes, but he's guilty of a crime of passion, heat of passion. He's guilty of manslaughter. Thank you. Okay. So, the jury needs about 3 hours before they find him guilty of first-degree murder. So,
yeah, you can't do that.
It's not. That was a bad defense.
Yeah.
Just don't repeat. They repeat, like, the more I say he stabbed her, the more they're going to get, like, desensitized to it, I think is what it was. I honestly think that's what it was, because you could try to dance around it, or you could be like, stabbed her, stabbed her, stabbed her, stabbed her right in the heart. And then after a while, after a week, you go, all right, yeah, he stabbed her, great.
Yeah.
Who cares? You know what I mean? That's what he's hoping for here. So he could get the death penalty or life in prison. Either one is on the table here. During sentencing, first of all, he wants a new attorney for sentencing. I kind of don't blame him. I'll be honest with you. I kind of don't blame him. But his counsel, and this is what it stated in the form for this, to try to get the new attorney. His counsel sent him the opening statement, and he disagreed with that. He was going to print up two different ones, supposed to show me then. He didn't show me the copies of them prior to trial. Then we go to trial, and he comes up with this, Robert is guilty of this, guilty of killing Cheryl, and tells the jury not to accept his statement, and that it's just hearsay. He says, I do not remember what happened the evening of this incident or the morning, and I've tried to tell both of my attorneys that from the very start. And I asked for help to try and find out what did happen because I have no recollection of what went on. And he said the counsel responded that the counsel was stuck because there's an attorney-client privilege, and anything I say would go against what you say, and it's going to be detrimental to him. Then he says, quote, I've taken this abuse for 8 months. That's what the attorney says. Attorney says, I've taken this abuse for 8 months. I poured my heart and soul into that trial, and everything was great after my closing statement, and now things have changed. Now he hates me.
Yeah.
During the sentencing, victim impact here. One of Cheryl's daughters, said that it was hard to put into words how the death of her mother's affected her. She said that this Seiler abused her mother so often that it became an endless cycle, and she said, I've always been scared Robert would take her life. Her son-in-law, married to this daughter, said that Cheryl tried to leave him several times, but she loved him and she always went back to him. Hugh Seiler, who's Robert's father, said that his son has a severe drinking problem. No shit.
Yeah.
And he's talked to him several times about it. He said, quote, I'd like to see him get married to someone who doesn't drink and lead a decent life. I don't want to see him go to prison. Well, we're past that.
I mean,
You should have found him a nice church girl then, because we're way past I'd like to see happen to his fucking
He
life here.
plunged a knife into a woman's chest.
Jesus
It's over for him.
Christ. Laura, who is Robert's sister, said she believed her brother never got over the 1991 death of their mother, and that's when he began to act out, was then.
Okay.
So she blamed it on the death of the mother when he was a full-grown adult. So at sentencing, Seiler was frustrated. He said he was frustrated by the court process and felt he'd been treated unfairly. And he says this out loud, that he doesn't even remember the death, and he believes it was actually the fault of the sheriff's department the more he thinks about it.
Oh, they did it.
They did it, goddammit, bastards. They all look alike with the same clothes on. I can't trust them.
Oh, God.
So after this outburst, he says this, then he starts yelling and screaming, yelling at his attorney, you cocksucker, this and all this shit. So he is dragged out of the court by deputies for using profanity during the sentencing hearing. And as he's being taken away, right, you know how the doors are closed and you can hear someone that's going, the last thing you hear is, I swear this is hilarious, quote, I don't want to be here. And then the doors close.
I'm sure you don't.
Sure you don't. As part of the sentencing, he is ordered to pay $4,614 in funeral and gravestone expenses to Cheryl's family and ordered to pay $2,500 in public defender fees. And you, sir, may fuck off. Life in prison for you. Yeah. There you go.
Man. Good
you
God.
get life. He tries to appeal. We'll go through this real quick. He tries to appeal. He says that ineffective assistance of counsel, number one. Yeah. And he says that he only met with his attorney one time before the trial.
Really?
The attorney said, I'm not required to meet with him on a daily basis, weekly basis. He's never made any requests to meet with me. I've met with co-counsel many, many times about the case and been in contact with it. Basically, I've done jury instructions on this case. I've done an investigation, directed investigators, and just because I haven't met with him doesn't mean anything. Okay. Then he goes on to say, if the court relieves us, meaning him and his co-counsel, we'll just have to get new counsel, and they're going to have exactly the same kind of problems with Robert that we've had, because obviously Robert wants to go in a different direction than his confession, what the evidence indicates, and wants to go in a different direction.
We've done our best.
Yeah, he wants to make the evidence and his confession not exist, and they do. Right. So we really can't do anything like that. Man. He said, we're doing everything we possibly can for Robert. We're investigating this case, doing all this, and we're simply not doing what he wants us to do, but that's a problem that's going to exist with anyone. So through all the appeals process, they reject his appeals. The Supreme Court of the state notes the overwhelming evidence against him, including multiple confessions to the crime, not only to the cops, but to friends, coworkers, family, her friends. He might as well have taken an ad out. Yeah, can I use the phone? I'm going to get that one phone call. I'm going to call the Times, and I'm going to put a personal ad out there with all this information in it. Like, that's essentially what he did. He told everyone he's ever fucking met, by the way, you remember Cheryl? I done killed her.
Single male looking for companionship because I stabbed a woman in the heart.
Right in the heart. That's his dating profile. She is buried. She's originally from Michigan, Cheryl was. She is buried, though, in Lincoln County at the Viola LaBarge Cemetery in Wyoming. So Lincoln County, Wyoming. So she stayed out there. Wow. And her kids are out there. She probably wants to be buried so her kids can go see her, I would hope. Robert, checked on him, still in prison. So that's good.
It's never getting out.
It's been 20 years. Yeah, you never know, though. You never know if some weird appeal came out that flew under the radar and I didn't see it and there's a technicality and whatever. But no, Robert's still in prison, still awaiting whatever to never get out. So I have to say, piss on it is the least effective way to waive your right to counsel, I would say, right?
Least effective defense as well. Like
it shows you're not a serious person.
Yeah.
If they ask you a serious question, you go, piss on it.
I'll piss on it.
What? You don't want to hear like a pilot or like somebody like that say, "Oh, piss on it." Piss on what? Let's fix it. What's happening?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. The right landing gear won't go up, so you know what? Piss on it. We're gonna go.
You know what? Piss on it, bringing her down. Buckle up, bitches, and then just fucking beep. It goes off like that. No, piss on it. Let's not piss on it.
Piss on it. We're gonna give it a go.
Piss on it. Let's give it a shot. Woo! And then the fucking intercom turns off. If you hear your pilot say woo before the intercom turns off, you're in deep shit.
You're about to hear piss on it.
You're about to hear piss on it. He at least told his co-pilot, piss on him. Fuck him. So that is Green River, Wyoming, and that is one hell of a weird goddamn tale of some very, very drunk people having a wild night. And sucks for Cheryl. I mean, yeah, everyone's an alcoholic here, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you should be stabbed in the chest because you're an alcoholic. She has 4 kids and shit. That really sucks.
You're entitled to sleep with who you want. I mean,
yeah. Her husband, though, is like, woo, no more alimony. He's the only one that was happy, probably. But I hope he wasn't happy if he was a complete asshole.
Yeah.
Hopefully, though, if you like that story, tell everyone about it. Tell the world about it. Not only do you need to tell all your friends and post on social media that you like the show, because that helps spread the show more than anything does. You can advertise. You could spend millions of dollars advertising, and it doesn't mean shit compared to someone going to their friend and going, "Yo, that show's pretty funny." Really? That's all it takes. So thank you for doing that. Also, you can help out the show for free in another way, and an easy way is get on whatever app you're listening on and give us 5 stars and say something nice about the show. Say just a bunch of turkeys over here. That's all. Gobble, gobble, bitches. That's all.
Turkeys.
Doesn't matter. Your best. Tell us your favorite way to serve turkey. We don't care. Get in there, leave the review. It does help a lot. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Live shows, whole rest of the year, August the 12th, Chicago. That's the biggest one we've ever had. So you want to be a part of the biggest small-town murder party ever, that's where it goes down, August 12th, Chicago. Get your tickets, shutupandgivememurder.com. Get in there. Still some left. And also Dallas, Atlanta, Charlotte, and a few left in Philly later on in the year.
Right.
Otherwise, everything else is sold out. Thank you for doing that, everybody. We do appreciate the shit out of that. Follow us on social media. We are at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook. Find us there. Find us everywhere.
Yeah.
Follow us. Do all that shit. You definitely want Patreon. I know that. Patreon.com/Crime in Sports, which, by the way, Crime in Sports is our other podcast. If you haven't listened to it, you should listen to it. There's a lot of wild shit on there. If you want to cherry pick some murders at first and then get your feet wet and get into it, plenty of that. There's like 360-something episodes. So get in there and get after Crime in Sports as well. But it's patreon.com/Crime in Sports is where you get bonus materials. Anybody $5 or above, you not only get the entire back catalog, a couple hundred episodes, new ones every other week too, and one Crime in Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you're going to get access to it all, and they bleed over. You don't know the difference. It's fine. So for Crime in Sports, what we're going to talk about, it's just good stuff. Yeah. We're going to talk about theme park disasters, part 2.
Part 2.
So we're going to get into more modern times, and for Small Town Murder, the Stanford prison experiment, which was crazy shit. 1970s Stanford psychology. They said they got a bunch of students and said half of you are prison guards, half of you are prisoners. Let's see how they treat each other. And it's fucking bonkers psychologically how that went down. So get in there, patreon.com/Crime in Sports, and you get a shout out at the end of the regular show as well, or Jimmie will fuck your name all up for you.
You betcha.
As a favor.
Absolutely.
That's what he likes to do. That's how he gets down with some shit. So do that. Keep coming back and seeing us, and also, come to a live show. They are a lot of fun. Yeah, listen to the regular show. Listen to Crime in Sports, and listen to Your Stupid Opinions, which is coming very soon here. They finally gave us the clearance. You'll see it because we're going to pump it a little bit on social media, and they said they're going to advertise it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Your Stupid Opinions. We're very excited to make fun of people's dumb reviews of everything and under the fucking sun. You want to follow us online? Very easy to do that on social media. You just head over to Shut Up and Give Me Murder. Drop down menu, links to all that shit. Yeah. Follow us, do it, keep hanging out with us. We'll see you back on the regular show and maybe Crime in Sports if you come around. Either way, thank you so much. And until next week, it's been our pleasure. If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
with a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.